All right, so we can have a decent chat. Welcome to the a very informal registration page for an informal meeting we're having in a few days' time around the subject of AI. For the last 15 years, I've been training real estate agents to get them to stand out in a sea of sameness, I call it, in their marketplace, helping some of the most well-known real estate agents all around the country that you've seen speaking on stages, whether that's at my events where we've had, of course, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sir Richard Branson, Gary Vaynerchuk, Mark Burris, John McGrath, the stars of $1 Million Listing, George St. Pierre. Like we've had a who's who, Eric Thomas, how can I forget ET? Who's who of some of the world's premier speakers come to our conferences alongside agents who have earned $1 million or more in many cases, and they give the coaching and they learned in this environment, in this coaching environment, the credit for some or all of their success. And so with that track record of helping agents like you in areas like yours, I've seen some real fundamental changes. And I call it like Agent 1.0 was the way they taught me. Prospecting and converting. So prospecting, outbound telemarketing in the case of ours, whether it's door knocking or telemarketing like they taught us, or whatever the case may be, to get a listing appointment and then a listing presentation set of skills in order to get that listing at the right price with the right investor marketing, investment in marketing, VPA, etc. And that was Agent 1.0, prospecting and closing. Agent 2.0 is what I've been training for the last 15 plus years. And that's how do we use marketing, branding, advertising, and out of the box thinking in order to do this business better than your competitor and have agents because you are so well known, rock star, celebrity famous, not across the entire country, but in your area, to call you in predisposed and pre-sold on wanting to choose you when they're ready to list their home. And so that is still prevalent, still relevant, and you should be still focusing on those branding skills. But Agent 3.0 is a whole new beast, and it is still a work in progress that we are in the very, very early stages. They call it the S curve of adoption, where at the start of the S curve, we've got the early adopters, then we've got mass onboarding, and then we've got the latecomers. Well, we're at the early stage of AI implementation. And the problem with what many agents are doing, they are flocking to AI to do the very thing they shouldn't be doing. And that's what we're going to talk about at this informal meeting is what you should be using AI to give you more efficiency, more ability to connect with humans. And it's interesting that your competitors are flocking and running away from the very thing that they should be using AI to head towards. We're going to go through a very detailed step-by-step because I'm not the master yet. I'm bringing in the experts that I'm learning from and allowing you, now that I've paid the bill for them, allow you to look over the shoulder of what we are doing so that you can learn while I'm learning, because we are it's almost like in the wild, wild west. And it's the biggest opportunity that's come since Google, since the internet, since social media. And because they're asking AI, they're going to things like ChatGPT and Grok and all of those things and saying, hey, who's a good real estate agent in my area? And if you haven't got your online tools set up in a way that it recommends you, you're in trouble and at a serious disadvantage. So I'm calling it, I don't know whether I'm calling it Agent 2.2, version 2.2, or whether it is a totally new revolution where it is literally Agent 3.0. Don't know yet, but come and join us on this learning curve. I'm telling you, some of the innovations and the things that we have the early adopters for Agent 2.0, literally they're the agents that got to me early 10 years ago, and they are reaping millions of dollars in benefits to this very day. Now's your chance for the biggest fundamental upheaval of the entire industry that you do not want to be left behind on this. So jump on board. Let's have a yarn. Won't cost you a penny either. God, what am I thinking? Hey, I should be charging you for this. All right, I'll see you there. I'm going to leave you now if you want to stick around, because if maybe you've never heard of me before, here's some of my students that are sort of going to share some ideas of what I added to their world over the last 15 years, just so you know that you're in good and safe hands, that when I sort of offer you this sort of thing, especially if it's free, know that there's going to be a whole bunch of value in it for you and well worth, popping an hour of your time aside or so the next few days. Come and hang out with us, all right? I'll throw it over to some of my friends.
What Glenn brings to the table is great content, great enthusiasm, and certainly will help take your business to the next level.
He's giving back. He's even giving back to the community, to kids that need help. So I just want to really say I appreciate that from Glenn. He's a real great promoter. I love this guy. I hope I see more of him, and I hope to do another speech for him Hasta la vista, baby.
There's no fluff with him. It's just straight to the point. He's pretty relaxed. It's an operation that's smooth, but still works really well. No, I love Glenn. He's been good to work with.
Comes to Los Angeles to do a 30-second video. I mean, that's the type of guy you want to be in business with for sure.
What I love about Glenn is when he says something, he's saying it out of integrity.
Results speak for themselves. If you listen to him and try those outrageous techniques, which is what I did with outrageous marketing videos, within a year, I've doubled my business.
Glenn Twiddle would have to be the most passionate trainer in the country.
Glenn, really cool dude, interesting guy, and a really out-of-the-box thinker.
I wish I had met Glenn years earlier. 8 years earlier would have been really freaking good.
Glenn creates for his own life and for those people around him. He creates miracles and dreams that come true when you've got someone who's totally inspiring and inspired and great energy.
If you're looking for a coach that's not just telling you how to sell properties, but how to position your entire business to get in front of people and truly achieve amazing things, Glenn Twiddle is the man for the job.
It was the best idea I reckon I've had in the last 10 years, and it's generating lots of inquiries. So thank you, mate. I really appreciate it.
I love Glenn for many reasons, but he just has an absolute heart of gold. So he's one of those people who, if he asked me to do something for him, I would always make the time. He is just a beautiful person and has so much to give and share. He's generous in so many ways.
Glenn Twiddle is a marketing genius.
Basically everything that I've done in our business, mate, you're my personal real estate coach.
Glenn Twiddle is one of the more creative marketers around.
Our business wouldn't be where it is today without thanks to Glenn and his team.
Everywhere I could be, I went based on Glenn's advice, and it has just totally changed my world.
That's what Glenn is certainly regarded for, renowned for, as the best in Australia.
But I've seen him grow from a very good real estate agent into Australia's #1 trainer.
You've changed our lives, and we'll forever be thankful.
And if I was going to pick anyone to coach our team, Glenn Twiddle's right at the top there.
He's had a real prolific effect on a lot of people, particularly over the last 2 years.
See you on the webinar. Bye for now.